Welcome, everyone, to Crusade Anything, a Q&A panel for the CKIII team. I'm Troy Pruitt, your community manager, who has been with you all day and will continue to be with you all of today and tomorrow. With me, I have experienced Matt.
Thank you, Troy. It's always a pleasure.
You got a new title.
Yeah, I know. Got to flex off the new titles every now and then.
Yeah. Also with us, we have Magna and Jakub. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
I see we both dressed up for the occasion and are both looking fabulous. Thank you very much.
Jakub's repping the cat is.
Right? I love it. I love it.
I was there to do this. At least it looks better than Matt's crumpled shirt.
Damn.
It does. Whoa.
I mean, to be fair, it is quite crumpled.
It is quite crumpled.
It is, I know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
We got two dark colors and two reds. I like it.
I like that Jakub said dead, though, as if he wasn't totally down for that.
Yeah, like it wasn't his idea.
I dead myself.
I mean, my memory of that is Jakub asked me, should you wear the cat ears? And I went, yes, you should.
Yeah. Like I said,
Simplest day of my life.
It was Jake's idea. We started off with Jake's idea, and then Jake was like, hey, you should dare me to do my own idea. Like, oh, okay.
Basically,
sounds good.
Stop
Consider yourself
exposing
dared.
me.
Shaming Kuba on, for everyone to see.
Yeah, exact. Well, welcome, guys. I know dialing in from home is not as exciting as being in the studio, but thank you so much for giving us the time today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the recordings are recordings, but right now we're live and we're going to answer some questions from you guys, especially about the upcoming update, but also how we're doing and how is the life?
Yeah.
Exactly. Please ask us some stuff that isn't about the update, because that's a lot of fun as well.
So if you're not already in the Discord, head over to the Discord where we have a special channel created for the Q&A. You can ask questions. We will filter them to me, and I will be reading them live on my little lappy-toppy to ask to our fantastic team. Sound good, everyone? Everyone cool with that concept?
I like the idea of it being called a lappy-toppy.
Lappy-toppy. Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
You say laptop enough times during a day, you start to create ways to...
Yeah, you just start creating new words as the
Yeah.
brain just slowly melts away from all the hours you've been awake.
Yeah, exact. All right, so without much further ado, we have our first question here. This one is for Jake. Jake, are you ready for your question?
Absolutely.
Excellent. When will we see any Royal Court content, if anytime soon?
Oh, very soon. We're very hard at work on trying to get it done. Of course, before we're able to show a lot of the content, we need to make sure it's presentable and you guys get exactly what you expect, and also it's up to snuff. And of course, me being in the QA department, I'm kind of responsible for making sure that the stuff we put in the game is high quality. So hopefully as soon as we finish features that are ready to be shown, we're gonna do this. And you had a couple of teasers already. I can't say or divulge much more without Alex Altner and anyone else here ripping my head off. But soon, TM, soon.
Alton is going to barge down the door if you say the wrong thing. He's just going to break into Jake's apartment, start swinging.
Jake, I'm sorry.
True, it happens.
We'll miss you.
Happened a couple of times. Yeah, well.
What do you think happened to the last QA lead?
I'm poor Nick.
Yeah. Poor Nick. R.I.P. Nick. Next question. Magna, are you ready for a question?
Yes.
Okay. For the benefit of modders and anyone at home that's not familiar with the process, can you explain roughly how artifact instantiation works?
Sure. Artifacts are created almost entirely in script, as best I understand it. I haven't worked on that system specifically, so some of the details here might be a little bit off, but they're created in script and they can be composed from multiple different modifiers. So you don't even have a single static artifact type. You can modify artifacts basically on the go, reforging them so that they're different and so on. So there is a lot of things you as a modder can do there to do some really cool stuff, and we will make quite a bit of use of that in the vanilla game as well, is our plan.
Most excellent. Modding is one of those areas that are very difficult for us on the inside to really comprehend the process of. The technical process, I know you guys on the development side definitely understand a lot better, but those of us on the inside, it kind of gets into a gray area of like which parts are ours, which parts are theirs. So it's really nice to hear some clarification. Thank you, Magna. Matt, would you like a question?
Of course I would, Troy.
Are you sure you would like a question?
I mean, I hope so. Just don't hit me with one that's going to be really cursed or something.
Are there any plans to add more start dates, bookmarks into the plans in the future?
So, never say never, but currently it is not something in the roadmap. There's a variety of reasons for it. One is that they're just a huge amount of work. Every new bookmark is not only a huge amount of upfront cost, but it's then maintaining that over the years. You know, CK2 existed for, 8 years?
Yeah.
And it had a lot of bookmarks, and a lot of them weren't as polished as each other. So for the release of CK3, we wanted to have just a smaller selection of bookmarks that were more polished and better functioning. And even with CK2, when we did have a lot of other bookmarks, we had from our research teams and our analytics departments data on who played what bookmarks, and the answer was the first 3 and pretty much nothing else. So I know some people, if your favorite bookmark was one of those end the game ones or one of the more middling bookmarks, it's a bit disappointing, but by and large, we want to try and focus the development time and efforts onto higher quality things that more people are going to use, as opposed to stuff that's going to be a drag on maintenance for less of a gain.
I like it. Good answer. Solid answer. I know the start dates are a lot of effort to put in, and we've discussed that briefly on stream numerous times.
Yeah.
We want more start dates. They're very difficult. Maybe in the future, but...
Yeah, exactly. And it's a never say never type thing, right? You know, we're doing the first expansion now, right? And I hope and foresee many more in the future too. So I don't think it's anything that's knocked out by default by any means, but it would definitely be something more for an expansion than a flavor pack, I would think, because it's such a large thing and requires so much of the world to be touched.
Right. So hopefully, maybe. No plans currently.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right, Jake. Coming for you again, buddy. There was a mention of animated duels. The community is interested in what those are and if it involves revamping the dueling system in any way.
So, mechanically speaking, we are not going to do anything to the duel system. We think it's working correctly and well enough, and honestly, it was an outstanding job done. Saying that also is a free feature, so anyone without any DLCs have access to it. So in terms of its mechanics and how it works, the kind of round system and what you can do, that's our base, and we're not going to change that. However, we're working on how can we improve the experience while you're in a duel. So we're going to get some more animations in those events. They're not going to be probably what you expect, but maybe something that you are used to. So in events, we have kind of those animations that, people are very angry, staring at each other, and sometimes they don't wear any clothes because they're Norsemen and they cast away the clothes when they fight. But we're going to get a couple of more animations for the court. We're going to get a couple of animations with swords and spears and hammers. So you're going to have a bit more flavor there when you're going to be dueling your favorite enemies or the worst ones, definitely. When it comes to the UX, however, that's something we're also currently working on. We're trying to make sure that it's just a more pleasant experience. We've been in the past working on the limitations of the content and the script, but now we're a bit more unbound, and hopefully we're going to get something really cool.
Hopefully no more croc-apocalypse.
I hope for more of it.
More croc-apocalypse.
I mean, I would be impressed if they added it back in.
Yeah?
As a game rule or something, Secret experience.
I mean...
Secret.
Do it.
All right, well, here we are. Magna, I'm going to hit you with 2 questions now. Are you ready for a 2-part question?
Go for it.
Question 1, can we pet the dog?
You already can. That's already in the game.
Yes. The literal best news.
The most important feature.
It is. It really is. For those of you that haven't caught our live stream at home, we actually did play with Trog the dog.
Yes, from our weekly live stream. Yeah. Trog the dog was our best diplomat.
It actually was.
The dog would go around, some counselor would be getting upset or annoyed and at us, and the dog would growl, and they'd be like, all right, my bad, chief. Or, go up and, give them a few licks, and the dog would be, and the counselor would be like, this is a good dog. Yeah. You're a good ruler. I like you. Which I think that's how diplomacy works in real life as well.
Right. Which brings me to my second question for Magna. What was the inspiration for the dogs, and was it always the plan to pet the dogs?
I think Matt has been more involved with that, so maybe he wants to grab that one.
Oh, you want to toss that one to Matt? Fine.
Yeah, I can grab that.
You're in the spotlight now, son.
Yeah, I mean the dog, pets and stuff were something that we had in CK2 as well, and it was sort of a little like team favorite type thing as well to be able to have those pets, and they were added in as one of the event chains we had that would stick around for a while. And one of the little personal pet projects of mine was adding in the little widget so you could name your dog as well, because we had a nice selection of names, but I've got to be able to put my dog's name in there, otherwise it's just not the same. And then petting the dog was, I don't know if it was like, it probably wasn't in the roadmap at any point, but I think it was definitely the desire of the content designers to make that pet the dog decision.
Just check that one off the old.
It's a very good stress relief tactic, both in game and in real life.
Yeah, it really is. We need more dogs in the game.
We need more dogs everywhere.
Well, since you sniped Magna's question in time, I'm going to ask Magna another question. So, Magna, there are a lot of faiths that could possibly have gay relationships accepted and concubines in those same religions, not just in the mods. Since the concubine slot is effectively official extramarital, is there any plans for that, and what do those changes look like if so?
So we don't have anything specifically planned currently, but it is an area we would like to touch more upon in the future. There's no real reason that we can't let you reform your faith to be more accepting, other than the amount of time it'll take to actually implement that. So right now that's not a priority, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do something with it at some point in the future. Because I know there are a number of people on the team that really would like to provide more of that kind of content, not just for modders, but also in the vanilla game.
Yeah, and we here on the team are definitely very inclusive. We have a lot of people that identify as alternative lifestyles in the old term, or LGBTQI in the current dogma.
Yeah, the medieval terminology, probably not the best one.
Right, which is why we're not going to use it, because we're not a medieval time. We are LGBTQI.
Good save.
Yep. I mean, there's plenty of people on the
good
team.
Save.
Exactly.
I mean, I myself, I'm wearing my Paradox Pride pin over here.
Exactly.
I'm bi. I'm somewhat gender non-conforming.
Right.
And we have a lot of queer people on the team.
We do. And we love all of them, especially all of the team that we work with every day, but everyone within the company as well.
Yep.
And that is something that has kind of been a pain point due to some recent issues, but we are hoping to work on that and better it. And I'm glad that question was raised. Which brings us to more in-depth content for Jake. We're going to just pick Jake's brain to death here. Are you ready for a technical question?
Shoot. Kill me.
We had a brief overview of some weapon artifacts that we saw from the expansion. What kind of weapon artifacts can we expect in the expansion, if you can tell us any information at all?
Okay, so obviously artifacts such as armor, swords, crowns, those are all artifacts you can probably wear. And there's going to be a distinction between court artifacts and personal artifacts. So you're going to be able to wear a bunch of artifacts, have a book on you, have a sword, a shield, well, not a shield, but an armor, kind of protects you in battle, and those can be all different. But also you'll have court artifacts such as certain trinkets, tapestries, maybe some boxes, jewelry, that sort of thing. Like, you're going to be able to customize, and your character going to have a little inventory screen where you'll be able to pick and choose which artifact you like to wear. So it's a bit modernized version than what we had in the past. Hopefully it's going to be better as well. And for court artifacts, it's also going to be revamped and brought into the 2021 really, how this is going to look. So there's going to be plenty of artifacts to choose from, and how you get them, that's another story, because that's going to be difficult.
Yep. So Royal Court was the expansion that we announced. Still no release date, but once we have that release date, we'll let you guys know, and we'll include all the details we can about the artifacts and other features thereof. So I'm going to break order here a little bit, because I want to put Matt on the spot again. There's a lot of nicknames in the game. There's a lot of achievements that are very hard and very difficult to reach. One of those is the Undefeated. How many or what percentage do you think players that have played the game have reached these unattainable high-level nicknames or titles?
I have no idea. When you said you were putting me on the spot, I told you weren't kidding. Let's go with like 3.78%.
3.78%.
Yeah, I'll just throw out a number like that. I mean, there's a lot of achievements in the game, and we have the Iron Man mode and the achievements are then if you're playing with game rules that don't block them. And I mean, I myself have all achievements because I implemented the system for CK3, so I cheated them all in instantly.
Perfect.
Of course.
So which would you say is the hardest?
You mean you
nickname or
legitimately
achievement?
unlocked them all?
Legitimately yes.
Legitimately unlocked all of them. I mean, I had all the achievements before release, even so,
Yeah.
I'm just such a pro
Liar.
gamer. I'm just such a
Liar.
pro video game player,
So which one would you say is the hardest nickname?
That's only games on console. I don't play CK3 on it yet. Jeez. Can't Chromecast on my TV yet.
Why not? Figure it out. You're a
I'm
programmer.
a software man. I'm not a hardware guy.
You're a programmer,
Don't
figure
come
it
at
out.
me with those types of questions. I had to phone up one of our friends who's a QA on Stellaris to help me fix my internet because I didn't know how to fix it when I got my new apartment.
That's a shame.
When I moved in, I was like, why isn't anything working?
Guys, can we cut this segment early? I don't feel comfortable with Matt on stage anymore with his lack
Just
of technical
shaming me
know-how.
and my hardware skills. Wow.
Oh, man. All right, let's see. Next question for Magna. Will there be unique artifacts or unique items to your royal court in the expansion?
Yeah, there are quite a few historical artifacts that are, in the game from the very beginning. The various swords of Muhammad, for instance, I believe, are in the game. There are also, a variety of mythological things that you can potentially find, though how real they will be in practice will, of course, vary. So there will be quite a few unique things, and then a large number of, things that are, generic as such, like, oh, this is a cool sword, but with a cool name and maybe some cool properties and so on. So there will be quite a lot of variety in the kind of artifacts you can get.
I'll just add on top of that as well, and we're gonna make sure that the artifacts actually feel special, because back in CK2 you would just get a steel sword, and the steel sword would just be a steel sword. It's a sharp stick that you point people with. But basically in CK3 we're trying to make a system where each artifact actually is unique and has a story with them, and it's going to tell you like who crafted it, what it displays, how does the handle look, how does the blade look, like that sort of thing. We're going to try to make those artifacts just feel really special, so when you have them you care for them and you want to make sure that they survive anything that you throw them at.
Exactly. It's not just a sword, it's your sword.
And you'll feel extra sad when it breaks away to dust and you need to repair it because you love it so much.
If we don't actually have an artifact in-game called Steel Sword, a sharp stick that you poke people with...
That's what I was thinking. Like, I kind of want to...
real upset
We
here.
could give that to Jakub's Easter egg character.
Yeah, done.
Oh my god.
Hat. You put it
Okay,
on your
listen,
head.
we're getting a 3D modeled rock, okay? The rock will be mine, and I'll have that rock on display 24/7. It's just, my character's collecting all the memes right now, and I'm not sure about how to feel
I'm gonna
about that.
cheat here a little bit. This is actually a question from the chat, and it was directed at Jake, but I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm gonna ask each of you in turn. There's a lot of content for CK3. There's a lot of announcements. This is an announcement show after all, and people are talking about all the questions that we have for Royal Court. But outside of that, how are you guys doing today?
Well, Matt, you go ahead. You go first.
Yeah. Not too bad. Little stressed, but managed to arrive here just about in time for the event. After I was at the office picking stuff up for tomorrow.
Slid in under the wire.
Yeah, and then right as I left the building, like the heavens opened and the rain and thunder started. And I was like, this better not be a sign. This better not be a sign. Everything's going to go smoothly. No issues, I swear.
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
Somebody here at the studio saw you getting off the train when they were getting on and was really confused why you were getting off the train near work.
Yeah, no, I had
we
to go
thought
in
you got
and-
lost.
Yeah, it's because I had to go in there and pick some stuff up, and I was like, oh, I've got time. I can get there afterwards. And, vaguely
time.
managed it.
I've got time.
Yeah. I had to pick things up for the some of the streams tomorrow.
Yeah, man. It'll be great. We're going to have fun.
Exactly.
So, Magna, how are you today?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I've been looking forward to this show and then looking forward to watching Eurovision later tonight.
Yes.
It's a good day.
It's going to be a good
A
one.
lot of events happening.
It is. It's
So,
almost like it's that time of the year.
PDXCON Eurovision crossover when?
Oh, ooh.
I think I can hear our event organizers crying in the background
Are
after
you going
that
to sing
one.
for us?
I mean,
Yes.
I have a great singing voice, Troy.
Sing Ya Ya Ding Dong.
No. Not yet.
Okay.
I need practice. Need warm-up time, you know? It's not something you just turn on demand, Troy.
Fine. I guess. We can wait. But, Jake, how are you today?
I mean, relatively fine. I went to sleep last night at 5 a.m. Though I did have a nap after the whole thing. But basically, yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. I mean, I'm an adult, so I get to make my own decisions and live with the consequences. And I was basically just having PDXCON stream on left screen and Rhyme World on the other. I mean, just kind of playing 2 games. And it was really fun. It's just a shame we can't be there in person, but if that is probably the best thing we can currently do, and I feel pretty good about that.
Nerd. Playing 2 games at once?
Hey!
Come on, man.
Hey!
You're just trying to show off right now. Get out of here.
Why are you shaming me?
His ultra
Go
tier
back to
QA
sleep,
skills.
Troy.
I
Oh,
do
wait,
wish I
you
could
can't
back
go to sleep.
Oh, I am tired.
Exactly.
I'm always tired, though. Like, that's the secret. Literally, I'm always eternally tired. Oh, you just woke up from a 12-hour nap? Yep, still tired.
Just gotta chug more of the Red Bull, man.
Oh, man, we're going. It's happening. Like, you'll see. Are you ready for it?
I'm gonna be ready. I'll take some behind-the-scenes photos for you. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be great. All right, back to the questions. Right, we got more questions for everyone at home. So Magna, I have one for you. The Dynasty tree view. Is there any chance, any plans to change or update the UI for Dynasty tree?
I don't think we have any huge updates planned, though I think the question in its original form was specifically about the panning behavior where it pans to the head. I think that has been fixed. I think it's based on the character now in an incoming update, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I do remember fixing something along those lines. But yeah, for the most part, I think we are relatively happy with the state of the Dynasty tree now.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I don't count. I work here, so I guess that doesn't matter.
That's always the fun one of when people are like, what do you think about this feature, or do you like this game that you work on? And it's like, I'm like, well, if I say yes, I'm a shill, and if I say no, you're not going to believe me
policy.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, well, we're allowed to say if we don't like something, but I'm not going to just take a huge dunk on it. But yeah, when everyone's like, what do you think of CK3? I'm like, oh, I like it. Well, like, of course you'd say that. I'm like, well, yeah, but I also do like it.
Right. What do you do with your spare
It's a
time?
great conversation piece.
It's like, I can't win. I'm a shill either way. That's fair. I accept it.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong, but...
Yeah, that's true. I don't get a bonus for saying nice things. That'd be great. I would shill way harder if I actually got extra money for it.
All right. You ready for a really important
we can
question?
start with those... Yeah, we can start with those sick Paradox Remix hoodies,
Yes.
quite cheap.
There's so much merch.
Cheap.
I got so salty yesterday watching the announce shows and stuff and seeing a bunch of people having merch that I don't have.
It's in the hall. It's right there in the hall.
I'm going to grab one when I go home.
Yeah.
But also the
Grab
CK3
one too.
hoodies, that beautiful Stellaris one that I saw people win. I was like, man, why have I got so little?
yeah, the Stellaris
I just
one I really want.
have a million shirts.
Yeah.
I have a shirt for everything. I have a Victoria 3 shirt.
True story, Magna. That Stellaris hoodie, I really wanted it, and I was like, can we somehow figure out how to do a flight jacket for CK3?
Yes.
So you guys, we need to start thinking about flight jackets for CK3.
Yes.
somehow.
I want it.
Right? Ye old flight jackets. Yeah, be rad.
I want it. Now. Who do I
Now.
I do think there are quite a few forms of clothing that we haven't tried out yet. Like,
There are.
what about Paradox crop tops, Paradox skirts? I mean, I think that would be nice.
Paradox underwear.
I just want
have
enough.
stock.
I've got Paradox merch for every part of my body, from waist up and socks. And my goal is to get some sweatpants or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Because then because then in
Crusader
terms
Kings
of
joggers, man.
because then in terms of shilling, I can just wear fully branded gear to the office one day.
We need
just go all
CK3 joggers. End of discussion. Right there.
I'm sure we can get marketing to organize that somehow.
Right. Let's do this. We'll go corner them after this. We'll get on the internet and corner them.
Yeah, corner them digitally on Slack. Just please.
All right, Jake, are you ready for a question?
Shoot.
Any plans to implement court jesters?
Yes. 100% we're getting court jesters. I mean, why wouldn't we? It's all about court, and court jesters are one of the many people you can get on your court. There are obviously other roles that you can have your characters be employed in, like a seneschal or a champion. So they all are going to basically have a separate role. You're going to have to pay them for their services, but they're going to obviously work for you and grant you certain benefits. So that's definitely coming, and Jester is just one of many. So yeah. We are.
Excellent.
That's it.
Oh, there's so many questions. I love all these questions. And if we have extra questions afterwards, I do believe we're going to try and get them answered in text form.
Yeah, we can give it a go on Discord, yeah.
So that's your job.
Nice.
You get to sit here in the studio, have the easy job. So then when you get home, you have to do the hard job of answering.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, sounds good. Let me see. What is our next question going to be? Is it going to be a Matt or is it going to be a Magna? Matt or Magna? Yeah, I like this question. Magna, are you ready?
Yes.
Through the development of Crusader Kings 3, obviously there's a lot of stress and a lot of crunch moments. How much do you ever panic in moments where a small tweak breaks something or makes an issue evident?
Yeah, I do want to clarify that during CK3 development, we have had zero crunch, something we are very proud of.
That's right.
But we definitely have had some panic moments. We've had, various things break along the way, sometimes a little too close to release for comfort, but we have managed so far to get through that pretty well. Sadly, I don't have any anecdotes that immediately come to mind about this. Maybe one of the other people here have one, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of like super panic moments, and nothing super comes to mind. I probably just blocked them out of like repressed memories.
Probably.
Yeah, I can't really think of many.
I mean, the panic is there's always like the underlying level of panic whenever you release anything, right? You're like, please like it.
Yeah.
So many years of our lives, please like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one thing. Yeah, go ahead, Magna.
Yeah, I guess one element of stress was, the time when the game wasn't yet fun. Because we knew we had some pretty good ideas and so on, but they weren't actually fun in practice yet. And it took, quite a while before everything came together in such a way that playing the game itself was fun. The moment we hit that point, everything got a lot easier because we could immediately see if a new addition would make the game more fun or not. But before that point, we were going blind to some extent. So that was definitely a point of stress there.
Yeah, I think it's something that people underestimate a lot with like making games. Even a sequel to a game that is already fun is that getting all of these new features and iterated ideas on together. It's not a fun product right away. Like, a lot of people are always like, oh, I really want to play, like the alpha builds of games. I'm like, no, you don't. They usually aren't that enjoyable. Like, once you hit like your alpha is like theoretically like some level of feature completion, and beta, getting more refined and content completion. And around, going towards beta is, in my experience, where you find a lot of the fun is, shown itself. But before that, it's definitely a lot of things where it's like, yeah, it's a lot of placeholders, a lot of bugs. It's probably not the most fun thing to play, as everyone's sort of trying to iterate and get everything going.
Yeah. And I know that's one thing that we have kind of a conversation with art about. Everyone wants to see the early concept sketches and early art sketches. And it's like an early code, right? You don't want to put that early code out there because it's not something that's necessarily fun. It might not be bad, but it's evolved to the point where this whole product is brand new. Right?
Yes. And, the iteration is a heavy part of game development as well. And as you say, especially with like early art and things, it can give the impression of, like you see what was before and you can see obviously in hindsight why you didn't want it or why you changed. But in the moment, it was still the hard work of people who were given that direction and went down there, So I'm glad where we ended up, but yeah, it's definitely a process.
Just to add on top of it, it's basically, that's also kind of the reason why sometimes, especially with 1.3, when we're releasing Northern Lords, we're kind of like not really being active and showing things. And that's mostly due to the fact that we just didn't have everything implemented correctly. Like, we are not going to show you a half-baked product and give you guys a wrong idea of what's coming, because that's just, first of all, not true to the reality, and also just not fun. Like Matt said, it's just not fun to play around in a half-baked system. But the second we have everything working correctly and it's tested and it's looking perfect, we're more than happy to share what's coming up. Like, that's sharing those posts and reading your comments is super fun to do, especially during a hard work day. Just kind of like take a break and read the comments coming in from the dev diary. So that's basically the only reason.
All right, Matt. Hard question, easy question.
I'll give us the hard one. Go ahead.
You sure? Okay.
Yep.
Modability and achievements. There's an issue right now with achievements being compatible with mods. Is there any plan or work being done on that?
Yeah, so mods with achievements is always like a contentious one because, there's one camp that's like, if it's achievements, why should you care how I get them? And there's other camp that thinks, they want the value behind the achievements being the process of doing them. Currently, most mods, except purely graphical ones, change the checksum, as we call it, which is what stops you getting achievements. We don't have any initial plans right now to change anything else about that. It is something that I personally at least have wanted to look into again, but it's one of those things that is not a super high priority, because I know for like mods that change the UI or some flavor text, some of those will change the checksum as well, mainly because the new UI system we use that came about for CK3 and the Imperator and Victoria 3 also use from our CloudSpace engine is a lot more robust and versatile, and mods can actually make whole new entire UIs with varying degrees of difficulty in changing things. But if those then didn't change the checksum, you could make a mod that just gives you a button in multiplayer that gives you hundreds of gold, and you can just press it. And we don't really want to create an environment where it's that easy for people to, cheat and ruin the fun of others. And that's the main reason we went with putting that all behind checksums and stuff, so you can't have any cheat mods to find out, what secrets does Troy have without having to have actually used any of the game mechanics to find it out. Or when you're looking for that marriage, seeing, oh, these people are infertile, I can see their fertility through the cheats.
Right. Like a cheater you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason. But it is something for some of them we want to look into the future if we can try and improve on it a bit. But
especially purely graphical mods.
Yeah, purely things, if you change some flavor text, then we'd rather that didn't change any checksums. But it's always a balancing act between making sure no one can, our main concern is cheat for multiplayer as opposed to really achievements. Because if you really want achievements, you can cheat them anyway. Yeah. But it's mainly about taking away the fun of others in multiplayer lobbies.
Yeah. Are you ready for the easy one?
Oh, yes,
going
please.
to Jake.
Damn it, why would you tease me out like that? I got baited.
You baited. So now the easy question's going to Jake because you chose the hard one. All right, Jake. Is there any plans to put the dog in the courtroom, or are there any other pets that might be added to the game? There we go.
Nope. So basically, it's not an easy question. It's a hard question because I'd love to put a dog in. I would love to put a dog physically in. Unfortunately, right now we don't have plans for putting a dog physically in, but the team loves pets, so maybe in the future. Hard to say. I mean, it's kind of weird to not have an animal around, but at the same time, that's a lot of work that needs to go into like putting a pet, like an animated or even like an idle pet in a courtroom. So I don't know. We'll see about that. For now, don't count on it. I'm sorry.
It would be great though. But I mean, it's especially because like the pets you can get have like different fur colors, different looks. So with just the level of, to a degree, the level of detail the portraits have, we'd need some dynamic stuff for the pets as well. So
it's not like you're doing anything, Matt.
Yeah, I
don't have enough work as it is. It's fine. I'll just make like an entire species system. Make the dog characters. It's okay. Starts sweating profusely.
Yeah, it would be nice to have like a dog next to the throne room, and a cat on a lap, like just sitting on a lap as you sit in the throne.
Or more likely, knowing cats, the cat would be on the throne whilst you stand next to it.
You know what? Yeah.
The king.
How
about
we just have
the cat off
like
the throne? Get off.
Every single time you boot up the court scene, the cat is in a different position and knocking your stuff over.
Knocking over your artifacts. Like, no, that statue's been in my family for centuries. The douche.
All right. On to Magna. Magna gets an easy question.
Yep.
Tea or coffee?
Neither.
Neither?
I drink mostly soda instead. I know I'm terrible.
That's okay. What's your soda of choice?
Coke Zero.
Good choice. Solid choice.
I was hoping for a Monster energy drink.
No, those are way too sweet for me.
That's more of a Matt thing to me, actually. Like Matt kind of looks like more of a Monster fan.
I don't drink that many energy drinks. Like I drink Cola Zero like sometimes, but usually only when I go out for meals. I don't have it at home too often. I usually just drink water.
I like how this panel's turned into drag Matt again.
Yeah, I mean, I can give the controversial answer for hot drinks of tea or coffee or hot chocolate.
Oh, there you go.
That's where it's at.
Hot chocolate is lovely, though.
Hot chocolate is great.
We have that hot chocolate machine at the office.
I know that it's also mild heresy for being a Brit and not liking tea. Like, I know, but it's just not good.
You know, Spiffing Brit's going to come after you after this panel.
Yeah, I mean, he already crushes my soul by breaking the game. Now he's just going to break me as a person.
Exactly. Which leaves, of course, Jake. Coffee, tea, or now the third option of hot chocolate.
I think I'm more of a coffee fan. I'll drink tea if I'm given one, but when there's good coffee around, like the office coffee is really good, or freshly, like, I could go on and on, but coffee is my drug of choice. I really like it, and it keeps me alive. So
that's fair. That is definitely fair.
Useful property of it.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair. So Magna, now we're back to a tech question. In multiplayer, there's been a lot of requests for the chat box. Is that a plan that we're going to have in the future,
Yes.
or something we've thought about?
We don't have any concrete plans for it. It's of course something we've thought about. So far we've decided it's not a priority because most people are using external chat programs like Discord and so on. If we could just, flip a switch to have a working chat system, we would of course do so. But right now it simply hasn't been worth the time to do so. We'd rather spend that time currently on features that change the gameplay. But wouldn't surprise me if we add a chat system at some point in the future when we have more time. But no promises there.
Good answer. Solid answer. Truthful, honest, open, direct. Perfect. All I could ever ask for from a panel. Thank you, guys. So, Jake, another technical question. When a ruler dies, will their inheritor also inherit their throne room?
Well, I think the way we handle it right now is that we have, the court artifacts and the personal artifacts. And the court artifacts are inherited by the rightful successor, whoever that may be. But when it comes to personal artifacts, we're still trying to figure out how we want to do this. We don't want to really stockpile power too much. We had that problem in CKIII where you just keep stockpiling power, and then you have 200 prowess people, just absolute gods among men, just killing and murdering everyone and being absolutely indestructible. Probably want to avoid that and maybe make it a little less magical than it used to be. But yes, artifacts right now for the court ones, air. The personal ones, probably air too, but that may change.
Matt, I'm storing up a really juicy technical one for you. So I'm going to ask Magna a really good one first, and then move on to yours.
It's all right. I'll forgive you.
How about it?
I keep leading Matt up, and then
I'm like,
Poor Matt.
All right, so Magna, with the expansion adding a lot of roleplay features, there's a lot of customizability and changes, like hairstyles, clothing, varieties, and more distinct-looking characters. Have we thought of adding any more, or is there any chance of adding different hair or clothing options?
I mean, that's the kind of thing we're basically adding constantly. It's more diversity there really helps with the whole immersion of the game. So it's something we always want to add more of. So I would expect most DLCs to add at least something there, especially the flavor packs, of course, because they'll be focused on a specific area, and then they'll be adding, things that are specific to that area, fitting hairstyles and so on. You all saw that with Northern Lords. So I fully expect that to be something we continue doing, because it adds a lot to the experience.
What are you most looking forward to?
Where in Royal Court, the thing I'm most looking forward to is the culture parts. Partially because I've worked a lot on it, but also because I think adding a system similar to Religious Reformation 2 cultures really enhances the gameplay there. Like, so far, culture's been a very static thing. You're either converted to a culture or you're not, but now you can, put your personal imprint on the culture and make it your own and combine it with other cultures and so on. So each campaign will be pretty different depending on the choices you make there.
That's excellent. Are you ready for your technical question, Matt?
hit me with it.
No, I was just messing with it. Wasn't going to really. There's different cultures being introduced with Royal Court. What are those different culture options?
So I don't have a list of specific cultures, but I mean the entire point of the system as well is that it's dynamic, right? So the list is in theory somewhat endless because you get to hybridize and diverge. and create those cultures yourself as a player. So there will probably be some cool, like, specially named cultures for that, but also the aim is to make it a more sort of fluid system overall, more similar to the faiths.
Hybridized and dynamic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To elaborate slightly, there is a script system that allows for specific combinations to have specific names. They can even have really complicated conditions, like, oh, if it's before this year, it should have this name, and so on. And we'll make some use of that. I mean, if you make, a combination of Norman and Anglo-Saxon in the 867 start, you will, of course, end up with English rather than some weird amalgamation of the name. But the system also has, dynamic naming as well, where it'll combine adjectives and so on to form a new name. So just based on that alone, I think there's at least 10,000 different possible names, probably even more. And of course, whenever you make a culture, you can also name it yourself. So the possibilities are literally endless.
My favorite one is wasn't the test one you did, Cooler Norwegian, if you create a new culture as your Easter egg character or something?
Yes, initially that was, the very first custom name implemented, so it would just, I think, always show up if you made a hybrid with Norwegian or if you diverged from Norwegian or something like that. And when we actually started putting in the actual names, our game director decided that let's actually keep that in. So if you actually somehow manage to diverge as my Dynasty, your culture will be named Cooler Norwegian. I'm not sure how you're going to manage because my character isn't landed, but I'm sure someone somewhere will at some point.
We've got to figure it out, guys.
I have faith.
Yeah. No, that's a different system, Matt.
Oh, sorry, I have culture.
There you go. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that seems like a lie. How cultured am I? Yeah.
All right, Jake, got one for you, buddy. So I know there's a lot of minor titles that were in CK2 previously. Is it just a list that will be made out, or will there be more to it for the minor titles?
Both, really. So we're gonna have like a lot of titles added, like all the fan favorites from the past are gonna be in, as we discussed previously. But they're also gonna be doing more. Like back in CK2 days, they would just give you like 0.1 more prestige or 0.1 more faith, and it was just kind of like, I mean, cool, I guess. But now they're going to be way more significant. There's going to be more weight put into, like, if you're getting the correct person, and that person will obviously have a bit of an income. They're going to have access to your court. They're going to show up there as well. They're going to show up in your court and just be themselves. So if you do hire some conniving guy from a realm that doesn't like you very much to be your seneschal, then you might find yourself getting some poison drink at some point. But, you do you.
Good answer. Also a good answer. It gets kind of old, me saying good point, because you guys are literally the knowledge experts.
You just be like, every now and then, even if they give a good answer, be like, could have been better. Could have been better.
Get out of here. Go away.
Room for improvement.
Yeah.
Room for improvement. 3 out of 10. Get out. But no, I really, like I said, you guys are kind of our knowledge experts, and so it's really nice to have you all in a room, sitting down, talking, discussing these finer details of things. Now that we know what that new expansion is going to be about.
Yeah, now that we're allowed to say the words World Court out loud.
Yeah. What up, buddy?
Yeah, it's actually really, really nice to say it out loud. And also, it's also a very difficult position to be in because, we obviously want to talk everything about it. Right. So at the same time, there are some things that are still being worked on, and we can't divulge them yet, which makes it a very difficult balance.
Right. It is a balancing act.
Just striking the balance of, between the NDA, the funness, and Altner ready to, take us down at any moment if we say something too much info.
Are you ready for an Altner just headlock where he just knocks you unconscious in the middle of the
I'm ready.
It's going to be rad.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be so cool.
If we sell 1 million copies of Royal Court,
that's our goal, everyone.
Me.
New stretch goal. If we sell 1 million copies of Royal Court, Altner will triangle hold Matt and put him to sleep.
Running tackle him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put down some padding. Maybe we won't.
For 1 million copies, pretty quickly, I'm down for that.
Oh, man. All right, Magna. There's new cultures. We've discussed those. Everyone's pretty familiar with the concept of them so far. But will they work similarly to religions in terms of perks?
Yeah, the whole system is based around traditions and pillars, which are pretty similar to how faith perks work. I made both systems, so one is definitely very much inspired by the other. There are, some differences here and there, but the core concept of tying the functionality to actual traits of the culture rather than, hey, this is non-region. It would be tied to, hey, this culture has this attribute. So there are heavy similarities there with how the faith system works, because we saw that worked out quite well in practice and thought that would apply very well to cultures too.
I'm very excited to see how it's going to mesh. Everything pulls together, creates a more robust, dynamic tapestry of character, flow throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
You ready to stream some of it eventually?
I mean, once we can, I'm going to have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah?
It's going to be good.
I mean, we still have to work on our plan for what's coming next.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out, once we'll work out some things, I'm sure we can get
I was trying to trap you earlier with the, what's the hardest achievement or title to get? And
Yeah,
that's what you got to go for now. Just the hardest thing in the game.
Yeah, I mean, as anyone that's watched the streams knows, I'm some level of quality in playing, and I don't think we need to get any more specific than that.
No. We do need. Hold on. Where's my camera? I need camera. Where's the camera? I need to mock Matt. Are you ready? He's aggressively mediocre, everyone.
Yeah,
keep it in mind.
That's true.
There we go.
Aggressively mediocre.
Yeah. Hey, listen, just because you make the game doesn't mean you're great at it, okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, we all miss Stacy.
Yeah, she was better at it than I was.
She was better at it than you. Yeah. Literally, a question for the from the community here. Are you guys ready for the question for the entire team that's on stream right now?
Yes.
How are you guys literally the best dev team that Paradox has ever had?
I mean, it's just our charm and good looks, I think, is a big part of it.
Right,
really.
but what makes
First
us
question is, what do you want?
What makes us succeed? Our charm and good looks.
No, succeed, not fail.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can't believe you'd assault us like this.
No, just you. They're fine.
Oh, okay. They have the charm and good looks.
Yeah.
It's just me.
What makes you succeed?
Determination. I mean, like everyone on the team, like for more serious answer, everyone on the
serious
team.
answer now. Serious answer.
Everyone on the team, really loves the game, and a lot of us played CKIII, and even before we started working at Paradox, a lot of us played CKIII, and we're huge fans of that. And Alex Altner, our game director, was game designer on CKIII as well. He was QA on it before, so we all love the game and love the brand, right? So I think that gives us a bit more of a in of what do we hope that the community wants and what do we then want to work on, because at the end of the day we're also making a game that we want to play, and trying to balance that between what the community wants as well is always a delicate act, but I think that at least is one of the things that helps us out.
Excellent. And what about you guys at home?
Yeah, I mean, huge shout out to all of our other teams too. They all do amazing work. Like each team has their own unique challenges given the game that they have, the area that they're working on, and so on. So we have a lot of advantages on CK3 that make certain things easier. Like take the AI, for instance. The AI is easier for us to make than it is for our other games due to being actual human beings. So people are way more accepting of the AI making mistakes because a human being is going to make those mistakes, but it feels a lot weirder when you have a country making those mistakes or a interstellar empire. So I think some of it's just that we don't have some of the challenges that other teams have, and we probably have some challenges that they don't have, and I think they do great work.
Yeah, and there's one more part to this as well, is that we are inherently treating ourselves as a kind of story-creating role-playing game. Like, there are many mechanics and grand strategies that are there, but primarily it's all about intrigue, character interaction, and just having fun, creating your own story in your head. And this kind of comes with the benefit of the doubt. So when the AI does make mistakes, it's just kind of like, oh, it's funny. Oh, I send a letter to myself for pardoning myself for being a criminal. Like, that's just funny to us. And it's believable because people would do that in the past. But essentially, why are we the best team? Or I wouldn't say we're the best team. I just think of my friends at the project that they're the best. I've worked with them for a while now, and everyone's super responsive to feedback. And when you're working in QA, this is probably the most important thing. And when you feedback, it's being listened to and changed. So honestly, it's just a pleasure. Like, you go to work every single day and you can rely on your people, and it's great.
It was actually a trick question, everyone, because the entire Paradox family is one big team, so we are actually the best team.
Boo.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
That was the most community manager answer you could have given.
You like that?
Yeah.
It's almost like that's my job.
Yeah, damn. You're a professional.
But I do have this is the hardest question yet. Are you this one's for you, Matt. This is the hardest question that is asked in the entire chat.
I'm now not sure if it's going to be hard or very easy. Hit me.
What the hell actually happened to your sweater?
I mean, I mostly just, it was under other clothes and I thought I'd ironed it earlier. And then in reality, I had watched PDXCON and went to sleep.
Oh, yeah, on top of that sweater?
In the shirt?
You're not too far off. It was under other clothes. A mild mountain of them. Hey, listen, I moved apartments recently. That's my excuse.
It's a good excuse. I like it.
Yeah, but before you were living in your old apartment for a while, and you still had the same kind of type of shirt.
Yeah, Jakub, we don't need snitches get stitches, okay? You know, zip it.
I don't. Look, that was from the community. Look, you want to see?
I want to see proof. It's just gonna be fawn asked it, didn't it?
No, look. Here you go. See?
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. The
there
disrespect.
you go. See, the entire community is concerned about your living habits, man.
Wow.
Oh man.
I'm sorry I can't look as good as your Paradox remixed hoodie.
You like that?
Yeah.
Literally a pile in the hallway. Just gotta go get.
Surely the pile in the if the pile in the hallway is more iron than this, that's a little tragic, isn't it?
They're better organized than your house is.
To be fair, that's such a low bar.
Well, yeah. Is it even a bar, or is it just the posts that hold the bar?
Mainly just the post.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So, but another question. This one I really like. This one is very near and dear to my heart, and it's for Magna. What are your thoughts on the modding scene for CK3?
I mean, I absolutely love it. I used to be a modder for CK2. I did that for several years. Did that, close up until when I was hired by Paradox. So I absolutely love modding, and me and many others push for improvements for moddability, both on CK2 and on CK3. Matt's done great work there as well. And it's just amazing seeing all of the really cool things that people have been producing for all of our games, really, but especially for CK3.
Most excellent. All right, Jake, you ready for a technical one?
Go for it.
We've had cultures merging. We've discussed it. When those two cultures merge, what criteria is used to determine the group that it ends up in?
I think Magna would be a better answer to this, but basically how this one works is you get a window where you can choose which part from which culture would you like to employ in your next realm. You can also pick a mixture of two, like, for example, two separate names, or what kind of clothing you're gonna wear. You can mix and match those. So there's options you can choose from, but I think Magna will be a bit more in terms of technicality, in terms of how this generally speaking works.
Yeah, Magna, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I can elaborate slightly. Basically, for each pillar, you get to choose between the two freely, though you have to, pick at least one pillar from each, because otherwise you're not making a hybrid, you're just doing your own culture again. For certain pillars, such as clothing and coats of arms, you can choose to have a hybrid rather than one or the other, which basically means that you will get clothing or coats of arms from both of them. It won't necessarily mix and match elements, because that's a lot more difficult to support, but at least means that you will have, way more varied fashion within your culture if you opt to do that. You can even do that if you hybridize a hybrid, and at that point you'll have, 3 or 4 or even 5 different fashion styles within your empire.
Very nice. Very nice. Sounds like a lot of fun. This one comes from our community ambassador, Fawn.
Okay.
That says, "How dare you blame me, Matt? I just want you to know."
Okay, that's fair. Sorry, Fawn.
And she also wants to know when your next Jaffa eating contest challenge is.
I mean, yeah, I've been forced to eat some weird things on some of the streams in the past, and had Jaffa cakes thrown into my face to try and catch with my mouth. We've managed to avoid that for the CK3 streams so far. I have a feeling that I'm not going to be able to avoid it for much longer now that you're aware of all this.
So, surstrumming.
Oh, hell no.
It's happening.
No. Even I ain't going near that.
I think the people that, have to clean the streaming room would ban you from it if you ever try to eat surstrumming in there.
Yeah, if you can
that's
convince Anders and Maddie and Jimmy that the surstrumming in the room in their lovely studio isn't something they should kill you over, be my guest.
You don't think they would do it just to torture you?
No, because they would torture themselves
will never
more.
go out of the walls.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to do it inside. We're going to take Matt out to the little plaza outside.
That's
and
even
make him-
worse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
little
that
camera on the
Yes.
tripod.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you catch the strumming while we throw it at you, and you have to catch it in your mouth.
That's so foul.
I like that plan.
You people are so nasty.
Yeah.
So filthy.
Was it Harkjarl? Fermented shark fin?
Oh, isn't that the one that they bury in like
Yeah.
the beaches and stuff
Yeah.
in like Iceland?
Yeah.
Ugh,
With some of that, we'll do a taste test. Which you like better?
you would have to give me the craziest bonus for me to do that.
4 Jaffa cakes.
That's not a bonus. I don't really like Jaffa cakes anyway.
6 Jaffa cakes.
That's worse.
12 Jaffa
No,
cakes.
I hate Jaffa cakes. Why?
All right, I'll reduce it to 8 if you eat both of them.
No, why? Why do you do this to me?
Oh, man. I would love to sit here and do this all day. I really, really
bet you would.
It's
Torture.
what I get paid for. Like, this is why I'm here. Literally why I'm here. And, Fonris is a good point. If you do both of them, she will buy you a box of prawn crisps.
I'm not sure a box of prawn cocktail crisps is worth surströmming and buried nasty Icelandic shark fin stuff.
2 boxes.
Because I think those two things together could make me actually die.
3 boxes.
We're getting close.
Okay.
We can negotiate for. Not,
Fawn
we can
and I will
negotiate later.
this. We'll be working on it back and forth. Yeah. But, gentlemen, is there anything else you on the remote call, Magna and Jake, would you like to say anything or ask anything of the community while we've got you here?
Wow, putting me on the spot like this. Okay, I'll take it anyway. So basically, the stream will have to come to a close eventually, but I'm going to sit around Discord a little while longer and answer some of the questions I can. So we don't end up not answering many questions because you guys are sending a lot of them and we only have a limited amount of time. So that's what's going to happen. And if you have anything in particular, feel free to shoot and I'll try to do my best.
Yeah. I'd just like to thank everyone for all of the questions. It's been a lot of fun answering them.
Yeah. And as Royal Court starts to get closer and we start to have more of a concrete idea of when and what's going into that content, we'll definitely try and get some more QAs going. I would love to do more of these with you guys. Of course, time permitting, schedules permitting, and content permitting. We have a lot to go over. We have a summer patch. We have a new expansion announced. So this may be in the works in the future, and I would love to have all 3 of you back, and plus any of the other team that would like to join in on this in the future. But, Magna, Jake, thank you so much for joining me today. Your knowledge is both invaluable and fantastic to hear. It makes me feel like, what, Matt?
Just is my knowledge not invaluable to hear?
No, your knowledge is very valuable. See what I did there?
There you go. I'll take it.
But not in fact. What do you
But
want,
again-
Troy? You're the one with the hoodies.
I mean, do you want a hoodie?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys hit me up. I'll help you out. Let me know.
I mean, I want one of the Stellaris jackets.
I don't know if I can do that, but I'll see what I can do because I want one too. But thank you guys so much. Matt and I are going to sit here and hang out for a little while longer, but I'm going to let you guys on remote go home. See what I did there? I used Anders' joke.
It's the second time you've done it.
No, that was
Oh,
Anders
no.
last
To
time.
us.
Gotcha.
I mean, you're basically the same person, right?
It's true. Like me, Anders, and Jesse are all just kind of the same person. Thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you soon online and hopefully in person as soon as we can. We'll catch you later. And thanks for joining us. Matt, thank you. You get to sit here and
Yeah, I get
sweat
to
with
sit here
me a
and
little
chill
bit
out. It's
longer.
fine.
But thank everyone in the community, and we'll see you around. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.